Everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and this is I guess a continuation of earlier's video where we get to talk a little bit about the things that was revealed on the live stream on Twitch. There will be a link to their survey in the description below. If you're not here within the first like 20 minutes of this video, that survey is probably not going to be active, so my apologies for that. If you want to stay updated on those surveys, make sure you have the YouTube channel subscribed to and everything, and you have Discord join in the description because that's where I post them before I get this video out. So without further ado, let's get into this here. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is we're actually gonna just kind of click through the stream and find the important slides, because that seems to be the best way to do it. There's Mashu, there's New, we've got Hall of Trials, nobody cares about that. We all know who was used, we all know new areas. This doesn't matter at all. This is what we care about. The first thing here is going to be the Lulus exclusive equipment, and we can see her skill 1 has an increase of 15% chance while using Wild Wave for defense break. Her skill 1 on the other one has a 35% chance of just granting an extra turn, and you can't proc it multiple times per turn, which is really sad because that would be hilarious. And Wave of Vengeance, which is her skill 3, has a 75% chance to decrease the attack of all enemies for 2 turns as well as the defense break. So this is an interesting one. It kind of helps her in a couple ways. It wasn't at all what I wanted. Like, I really wanted something to affect her skill 2. I feel like not having a way to change her skill 2 feels kind of bad. Like, maybe looking back at exclusive equipments, it would be really cool to have like augments to skills for different situations instead of just the equipment. Like, I feel like that would have been a much more like diversifying way to set the game up, but what do I know? I'm just a gamer. But anyways, for skill 1, I would prefer Wild Wave. I guess they're both Wild Wave. I would prefer number 2, 35% chance to grant an extra attack. For my Wyvern runs, I think I would run her with Joker as well, and that way you have a 35% chance to go extra and just pound on the Wyvern real hard with that Joker damage. You also don't get the increased defense chance there, but you do get an additional chance to land defense break as well. Alternatively, you could go Wave of Vengeance instead with her skill 3 and then just keep her skills on. She gets an additional buff or debuff on her skill 3, which helps out a lot. And you still have the defense buff and stuff if you need that. But overall, I'm kind of happy with these, kind of not. Like, none of these really stand out. Like, Wild Wave seems like a lot of fun, and that seems like the one they were targeted at Wyvern. But I really wanted to see a skill 2 one. Also, the effectiveness bonus, not my favorite stat there. I would have really liked to see attack percent, but you can't really argue with effectiveness. I mean, you can, and I'm going to, but it's still fine. We then have Vivian here. Sorry, it's kind of dark. They'll click through it if I don't unpause. I'm not sure a better way to show this. But Vivian's here. Vitality Drain. Combat readiness of the caster increases by additional 5% when Vitality Drain results in a critical hit. Don't really like this one. I don't think that's what you're going to be using her for, but you will be using her for her mana amplification skill 3. She's got 2 great options. One of them increases her CR, her own CR, by 50% when using mana amp, and the other one dispels 1 debuff from all allies before the skill effect when using mana amp as well. That is fantastic. Both of those are pretty solid, especially the dispel 1 debuff first. A lot of people, when this was revealed, was like, LOL, Basar's dead. No, this isn't gonna kill Basar, just like the last 50,000 things didn't kill Basar. It's great and it's gonna be really helpful, but if Basar does his skill 3 and you have all the things happen to you, this isn't gonna save you. Like, it might help, but there's better options for that too. Her base there is health percent. Not sure what I think about that one either. I feel like with Vivian, you want her to go as fast as possible, or if you can, take advantage of her huge damage from her skill 2, whatever it's called, the one that didn't get an EE. I feel like that's where you would like to get the huge damage from, because just feels a little better than health. So I think they missed a little bit in both of these. I'm not saying they're bad EEs. They're gonna be really good, I think. Vivian is already a great unit. I've seen recently, and this mana amp is awesome, and same with Luluka. I think she's going to be a little bit more usable, but I would have loved to see a little bit more creativeness in these. Specifically Luluka, I feel like Lulukas were lazy isn't the right word, but I don't know the right word. Lazy, let's go with lazy. There's also only 2 of them, so there's that. We then have Elena and a Stella Harper banner. Stella Harper banner coming out. If I can find the right thing here. Gosh, Mango, click on the right thing. Ludwig? There we go. Elena, Stella Harpa banner. Elena is one of my favorite units to use. If you ever have any problems with the Charles / A Vildred / SSB / who else is on those teams? Fallen Cecilia, anything like that. Elena just like bodies those teams if you combine them with other overpowered units like SSB and especially Arbiter Vildred. So I really do love Elena, but be wary summoning right now because, again, I keep saying this, maybe they just don't like money, maybe they won't do it, but maybe we just don't get summer units. But either way, I would definitely hold as many resources as you can, as much as I do recommend the Elena. We also have Ludwig coming up. Definitely don't summon on this unless you have a very specific reason, especially when it's combined with a time matter artifact. Ludwig is definitely useful and has his uses, but no way worth the resources IMO. We then have a new check-in event for new players, it says. So I think this is only new players. This is the same eye level 75 gear that we had before. And then the one at the end there. We also got the most important part, free Spirit TIERIA. So I was not technically wrong. And that's the best kind of right, you know, like not technically wrong. I didn't think it was an SC because of their wording, and it ends up being a ML 4-star from what they said, which is really upsetting. I hate that I'm like upset about that. Like I should be excited about a free 4-star ML unit for all players, and it's going to be really easy to do. It's just a little bit of the adventurer's path. But it's a 4-star. 4-stars take Mulagora. If it was a specially changed, it'd be a free 15 for everybody. So, as much as I am excited for this, and the design is awesome, the hair is awesome, everything is awesome, I just look at Molagoras. Come on, just give me Molagoras. Is it too much to ask for? Either way, her animations are sick. You can see she's part of the adventurer's path here. And we also get 3 Molagoras from the Adventurer's Path. And her free gear she comes with is actually really good. A lot of people were like, boo, level 70 gear. But they don't realize how many new players are in this game. So seeing this level 70 gear is fantastic for a lot of new players. It's basically perfect stats. It is attack, HP, speed, and crit rate, question mark, I think, for all of these pieces. So basically the best you can get. And then attack, crit damage for the right side. Definitely a fantastic thing, and we can see a little bit of a concept art for her animation here. As you can see, they make sure to show you her feet, and it's really cool. I'm really impressed with this. This is a really great kind of Ravi style. Really like it, and this is my favorite right there, that little, like, the thrust, which is kind of weird because it's an axe, right? Like, you don't thrust with an axe. But she does. Apparently she knows how to use an axe more than me. And then we have just the weirdest decision I've ever seen. So instead of just like solving the equipment issue stuff and like fixing how equipment is done and separating artifacts and equipment, and, you know, maybe making it so exclusives didn't take pieces of slots and equipment stuff, what they did instead is gave us another currency. I'm not saying it's a bad system because it might be good, but really, another currency. That's your plan. So how this is gonna work now is you're gonna be able to preemptively convert your gear into ice cubes, as we can see here. So you convert it into ice cubes for each set, and then you can just use those instead. So there's gonna be another 16 currencies, or however many sets there are. Not that you really see these as currency, even though they are, but Just kind of a weird solution. So this is definitely going to help the equipment situation, but it's not like the core of the problem. We were having these problems before this was a thing, and now it just kind of amplified it. So a little bit interesting there. We then have Sigrid drop rate up, and what do we see with Sigrid here? We see Cradle of Life, a new artifact, another warrior artifact. They just have a thing for warrior artifacts, and the art on this artifact is one of my favorite arts I've seen on an artifact. I love it to death. It's beautiful. And this is a deceptively, I don't want to say bad, but deceptively not good artifact. Specifically because this one has a 35% chance to inflict a random debuff for 1 turn after using a basic skill. So this is their solution to Luna needs a buff. This is their solution to helping out Wyvern 13 runs, but I think it's gonna not harm Wyvern 13 runs, but I think it's a worse option than a lot of other alternatives. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is because the chance for it to apply a debuff is not as high as Junkyard Dog. I mean, I think it's actually the same, but it's not as high because Junkyard Dog is already 30 because it's free. On top of that, we have 4 different debuffs here. We have Bleeding, Poison, Decrease Hit Chance, and Decrease Attack. And I don't think the Wyvern can... No, the Wyvern can be Poison. So this hits all debuffs, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 debuffs. Poison is the best then if it can land. Bleeding second, Decrease Attack and Hit Chance third. I feel like you shouldn't need to rely on those 2 decreases, the decrease hit and attack chance to survive, so I think those are the 2 worst. I'd rather have burns over those. But the big problem here, the glaring problem to me anyway, is that it is a 1-turn debuff, and it's only on a basic skill. It's not on like a single target attack either, so it doesn't work with Luna's skill 3 as well. So that's a problem. 2-turn burns helps out a ton. And then the other thing is, the reason to bring in Luna is her massive boop, her massive damage. Her massive damage is just so much on her skill 1. And the reason why she does so much damage is because her Joker. Like, Joker plus skill 1, infinite damage. It's beautiful. So if you give her this instead, she's not really going to be doing any damage. She's not really going to be debuffing. Sure, she's still got her massive other things, but it's just... I don't see it. Do you see it? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm not entirely sure how to feel about this. I do like the artifact, don't get me wrong, but I don't like it for the solution they feel like it feels to me like they're pushing forward. The reason to run a Sigrid banner right now is because people are having trouble with Wyvern 13. Even I don't have a fully successful Wyvern 13 run, so people are going to be enticed to summon on it, and they're going to put an artifact that looks like it's an all-star with it. So that's one thing to really consider when you're summoning for this, whether it's something you think is worthwhile. The other part is we're getting her side story as well. It's going to be another one of those puzzle things, and I think that's it. Look at this art. It's beautiful. We then have all of this stuff here. This is all... We already know what this is. I've been talking way too long. Only 2 new exclusive equipments. I don't want to say this missed the mark because this is a lot of cool stuff, but this missed the mark in my eyes because I feel like it could have been done a little better. And I feel like I should be really excited for TIERIA right now. I should be like popping off again, like the kids say. But I just don't have Mola Gores. It's really hard to be excited for that. I was really excited to see either a new 5-star, which is generally maybe worth the Molagora, or a specialty change which isn't taking Molagora. So that's a big problem for me, but either way, I'm going to try her out. I'm going to 6-star her. She's a free unit, so I would honestly expect her not to be too great. She'll probably have a couple niche areas, and she'll probably be like overall useful, but I don't expect her to be nutso by any stretch because she is 100% free, so keep that in mind as well. As always, too, we have free and equipment removal. If you are curious about how I do my equipment, please follow the stream. I will be streaming. I swear I still stream. I will be streaming and doing all of my free equipment removal on stream. It's going to be mind-bending. I'm going to have a headache, but it's going to be worth it for RTA. We also have the weekend buff event as well. I have no leafs, so Yeah, I'll use my 50 energy for that too. I'm not salty. Oh, leaf pack! No! Why would you just do this? I'm confused. For 3 days during the event period, players will be able to summon 10 times for free? I mean, that's pretty good, but like, this makes me mad more than anything. I refuse. I don't care if this is not. I'll buy it for 99 cents. You got me there, but anything more than like almost free on this pack, and I'm just not buying it. I don't want to support that. So, thank you so much for watching. I apologize if I came off negative again. I didn't mean to. A lot of this stuff is really cool, but I like to talk about both like the benefits and the negatives about each thing. And I think a lot of the negatives, specifically Mulagora, are pushing into our skulls right now. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you folks later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.